Be a difference maker, not a taker. Welcome to another episode of Self Employed Success Secrets Weekend Edition. On today's episode, we're going to talk about being a difference maker, not a taker. Many people in this world are takers. Okay, they think that is what's going to get them ahead. But really, it's going to keep them stagnant. Instead, many people think taking is going to get them ahead. Opening, coming to the table and bringing only their appetite. Don't be someone who only comes to the table bringing their appetite. Be someone who comes to the table coming to make a difference. That the energy, the atmosphere, the environment is different because you're in it. That's what you want to do, being self-employed. You've got to have something that makes you different. And like I said, your heart sets you apart. You gotta put your heart into it every time you go out there. But the overall premise of this message is that be different. If you want to succeed, if you want your business to make money, you have got to have a defining feature about you. Okay? Even the Bible says, come out from among them and be ye separate. 2 Corinthians 6:17. Be different than your competition. Be different than your coworkers. Okay? Be different. Bring peace instead of chaos. Go in there seeking to help them, not hurt them. Be of service and not be selfish. Okay? And none of these things cost money. It's a mindset that I'm going to go in there and really make life better. And people will gladly give you money if you can make life better for them. If you can alleviate some sort of stress, if you can solve a problem, if you can get something done faster, if you can do things that they can't do, they'll reward you for it. And that's why I'm saying you've got to be different. Be a difference maker, not a taker. Don't just go in there thinking about your paycheck. Don't just work hard on the day you get paid or the day before you get paid. Work hard 2 days after you get paid. At a certain point, this can't be about a paycheck. It's got to be about a purpose. That if all you're living for is for money, you're dead inside. If that's all you're living for is money and survival, you got to get out of that sort of thinking. You're always going to stay in your line of thinking. If you're thinking, I just need enough to get through the day, you're always going to be in that position. If you start thinking above and beyond, giving more than you're taking, creating that margin for yourself. You want a margin in your bank account? Start giving more than you take. Okay, you want job security? Start giving more of yourself than you take. Than you take in people's energy and money, whatever. But be a difference maker. They need people. Companies need people, especially self-employment ventures. They expect you to be different. They don't expect you to be like them. They expect employees to be like them. But contractors, they're like, no, you got to be yourself. You got to be who you set out to be. And so we want you to make a difference. You're like, things have been the same for a while. We want things to be different. We want someone to make it different. So we're going to hire a difference maker and we're going to pay him dollars to do it. So you got to start out by thinking, they hired me because I'm different and I need to stay different if I want things to be different. And you want to stay here. So these are just things to think about, but be a difference maker, not a taker. Okay, let's say you're a baker. You make baked goods. How can you be a difference maker? One way you could be a difference maker is by being consistent, having lower prices and better quality than other bakers. By using ingredients that are actually good for people. So they're eating something that, isn't, enriched flour, but something good for them, and it tastes good. You can be a difference maker by delivering it to them. Dunkin' Donuts don't deliver. Krispy Kreme don't deliver. DoorDash might deliver for them, but you got to pay extra fees. Be a difference maker. What can you do to make life easier? What can you do to make life better? To alleviate someone's weight and pain in life. So that's the point of this message is be a difference maker, not a taker. Things should be different when you come in.